Hey, sports fans, welcome to the Greg Medford Show. I'm Greg, your host. You guys know me. We're not in Phoenix, Arizona today. We're in Atlanta, Georgia. We're at the 2022 Blade Show Sunday, wrapping it up. And I'm going around snagging some of my friends from the business and industry, pulling them over here to chat with them. Today, our guest is Ramon Chavez. Ramon, how you doing?
Doing real good. How about you, Greg?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Ramon, so you want to be about maybe an inch from the mic, or
Okay.
you get drowned out by all the noise in the room. So Ramon, everybody knows your stuff. You got your signature clip with the skull, and I don't know. It's just the bottom of the skull, or is it its mouth? What is that?
Yeah, it's just the top of the skull, and it's like the top part of my logo is what it really is.
Cool. So Ramon, the first time I met Ramon, he showed me a knife that he made on a drill press, and I was like, "Remember what I said to you?"
Don't do that.
No, I did not.
You said do this, do that, make it better here, and I did.
But mostly what I said was, hey, if you made that on a drill press, you should be in the knife business. The knife community deserves you.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
I'm tickled that I was one of the, I don't know if I nudged you into the knife business, but I definitely kicked hard.
Your inspiration at the beginning, yeah, I came here to that 13 show.
Yeah.
And I saw knives going for what they go for, and I'm like, I got to make a folding knife, because I was just making fixed blades.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw you at the gathering. That was the first time I met you.
USN? Yeah.
Yeah, USN. And you were the first one I showed the knife to, and you gave me that information. And after that, I was like, I could do this. So.
And then he came down to Phoenix a couple weeks later. I actually pulled down my pants and showed him my business plan for my company.
Yep.
And then I said, quit your job, go in the knife business.
And,
and you had a good job.
I did.
You had a way better job than I had when I
I did. I worked for the railroad, and I was a train master there, made a decent salary. And, that was, so Labor Day. And 5 months later, I was a knife maker.
And, I remember I was like, I'm like, well, man, the knife community, kind of deserves you. You should quit your job and get in the knife business. and then he did, and I was like, oh, shit, he quit his job, and he's getting in the knife business.
Yep.
So it's good.
Yeah, it was a combination of a few things, but I felt comfortable doing it. My wife didn't, but she supports me, so.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I hope I at least gave you a little bit of the confidence. If everyone's like, "Oh my God, don't do that. That's crazy." The only people who don't do that are people who are unrelated.
Yeah, and I got plenty of that.
Yeah.
You're doing what?
I did it, and everybody just went, "Yeah, Greg's doing whatever he's going to do." So, glad you did it. You bring a lot of cool stuff to the table. People have asked me, what'd you see cool this Blade show? And I'm like, a whole lot of not much. But I dig the shit out of your double action chub. That thing's cool.
Thank you. I'm super excited to get that out. The chub started as kind of like a not novelty type thing, but.
Are you going to have to make it skinnier as you lose weight?
Yeah, maybe.
The slim chub.
Chub slim.
It's a slim. It's a chub light.
I heard they get longer when they're slimmer.
It's a cross chub.
Maybe not.
So you're up in New Mexico.
Yep, Albuquerque.
Albuquerque. And how many people do you have on your team now?
Not as many as you think.
Yeah.
Me, my wife.
Yeah.
And we have Carlos Bonilla. We just hired him, and he's going to start running the production side of our company.
Okay.
It got to like the job that I had before, sitting in front of a computer for 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours a day. And that's not what I really want to do.
You mean like take processing orders and boxing orders, up stuff, sending it out?
A few designs here and there.
Yeah.
Just shipping, fulfillment, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So now he's going to take charge of that, and hopefully I can get back in the shop to where I want to be.
Cool. Are you comfortable telling us how many knives a year you make, or do you care about that? Or
it's. I don't want to say everything, but
that's why I asked.
It's getting pretty good.
Yeah.
We went from.
You got a couple sides. You have import stuff that you bring in.
Correct.
You have your domestic customs that you make. Do you have any domestic stuff you have made for you anymore?
Custom-wise?
Like OEM stuff here in the U.S.?
No, but we're fixing to change that with that double action chub.
Yeah.
That's got to be made here.
Yep.
We want it made here.
Yeah.
I think that's going to bring a huge number to our overall numbers.
Totally could.
we have the Chub, but it's also going to have some bladed versions as well.
Sure.
We went through a pretty drastic change in the last year. We were actually planning on moving away to a smaller place because we were comfortable with what we were doing. We didn't really want to grow crazy, and the place we were moving was like 100 population. And then I said change up my plan a little bit, take orders differently, and they ended up like tripling in size. And I told Lori, there's no way we can do this moving to a 100 population town.
Right.
So we moved up to Albuquerque, and they doubled again when we took orders again for this next year. And that's when we decided to hire Carlos, and he's doing an excellent job at learning what he needs to do. Yeah, we're just rolling with it, rolling with the punches.
So you're the only knife maker in the company?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
All right. All right, cool.
And, yeah, before it was me and Lori doing pretty much just everything.
Got anything cool and new on the horizon you'd like to chat about besides this double action Chub thing that you've made? Are you calling it like a DA Chub, or what are you calling it?
Chub OTF. Chub OTF.
Okay, cool.
Like I said, we came out with that first Chub, and it was Chub Slipper. And then we did the Chub Flipper. Hey.
Can I see that thing
and
for a
then
sec?
Now just Chub OTF.
So, this is a 6061 T6 aluminum.
Yep.
Billet that's been machined.
Yep.
Double action with a stainless steel liner. The liner captures your typical X-Acto cutting blade. You've got a little wave edge in here, huh?
Yeah, just regular blade from, I think it's a Husky utility blade.
There's something really satisfying about this. I'm going to go cut boxes and screw shit up. I think it's great, man. I think it's a really cool product.
And
It's got some style to it. Feels really nice. Feels super quality. The action feels really cool. Very neat.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, the clip's got the, he's got the skull, this kind of signature style clip on there.
Yep.
That thing's pretty cool, man. I really dig it.
Thank you. And like I said, it started out, I don't want to say novelty, but at that time there was some coming out already, but they're, kind of dainty, hang on your keychain, utility user. And I wanted one you can actually grip and use and cut good stuff with.
Sure.
And I have guys that just use the original Chubs for 5-6 years and changing 5-6 blades out a day. So it really evolved into a working tool, and I'm hoping that this would be the same.
Are they using that? Or did you use? I'm sorry, I've never inspected one of those. Is it the same blade capturing mechanism?
Yeah, it
Okay.
is. It's very similar. On these ones, made it a little thicker on the blade holding system. On the slipper, the blade holding system is actually the spring that locks it.
Right.
This one's not.
Okay. Cool. Neat. And then tell us what your main models are and where people can find you.
So the main model is just like the one I showed you back in 2013, and that's still our best seller today, is the Redencion. We have that. The custom versions have changed from that real big chunk that you saw. Now it's called Redencion Gen 4 Compact. That's the custom side. Productions, they're Redencion 229, which is mine and my wife's anniversary.
Nice.
February 29th.
So romantic of you.
Yeah.
Look
You
at you, romantic at heart. I
How
didn't
you
even know
like
that about you.
A lot of people don't know that about the 229, but that's it. And that's the size variation or family that I call it. And then we have a street family. It comes in that size as well.
Cool.
Street. I figured street size, carry it on the street. That's what you carry.
Nice.
We have the Liberation.
What's that?
That's it's a drop point blade.
Okay.
This year we came out with a Tonto on that for that
Similar chassis?
same chassis as the
Same chassis.
as the Redencion. No,
No, different.
different chassis. A little more slender, little easier to carry.
Yep.
And the streets are even a little bit smaller, more
Okay.
slender, a little bit thin, longer blade, and the street size on that variation comes in a flipper only.
Did I hear you're working on an OTF?
Yeah.
Does everybody know that?
They do now. No, we've been showing it around Blade.
Yeah.
Everybody that we showed it to, they kind of.
You got one on you?
Oh no, just the OTF. This one.
Oh, have you been working on a knife OTF?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll become in a Blade version too.
All right, cool.
And
You mean that? It's that with the knife?
Yes, and also a full size.
Okay.
The full size is not fully designed yet. I want to kind of grasp that Redemption look, feel.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what everybody gravitates towards whenever they think of my knives. So I think that would be most fitting, is to make the Redemption OTF.
Sure. What have you noticed in the last? Have you been in the knife business now? What, 10 years or?
Yeah, I've been selling knives since 10, but back then it was just fixed blades. And
what have you seen the most change?
I think the change started like right around that time that I noticed it just getting kind of worse, maybe, or not worse. I don't want to say worse, but so like when I started making knives in high school, and all those knives on that side of the room, that's what I'm into. Fixed blades, forged knives, old slip joints, stuff like that.
Yep.
And it's the change, I think, started around that time, 2010, where it started shifting over to this side of the room, and it's just progressively getting that way more.
Yeah.
And losing that stuff that your dad and your grandpa carried. And
yeah.
I kind of miss that.
It's funny. I like that stuff for the kind of technical execution of it, but it doesn't interest me at all. I mean, I was always I wasn't nostalgic when I was a Marine. I'm nostalgic about so many other things, and I'm not nostalgic about knives at all. I just like what's, but I don't like stuff that's cool for the sake of cool. I like it if it's cool because there's a reason behind it, and I go, oh, that's cool. I haven't seen that before. Like that. That's the most unnostalgic thing there is.
Oh, yeah.
And it's super cool. I dig it because I'm like, oh, my God, everybody could use this practically.
Yep.
So for me, I like that kind of engagement with the marketplace.
And for me, practicality is, I think that's what I'd go on.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, listen, man, happy to call you a friend. I know we talk on the phone from time to time. Got this going on, that going on. It was a little weird there this past couple of years, like there were no bearing races for a while. I was like, hey, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
We got to figure out how to make bearing races, and that was a pain in the ass.
No, I'm proud to call you a friend, too. I've known you since that, 13 when we first met, and you've always treated me well. You always treated me good.
Good. Well, keep it up. You got an ally in the business with me. You know that. Thanks very much for coming on the show. Guys, that's Ramon Chavez. Cool thing about the knife business. Great Americans, cool guys, making neat stuff. You can see the personality of every person kind of reflected in the stuff that they make. Most of us don't make things that are not reflective of our personality. You can find Ramon's stuff. Tell us where we can find your stuff.
Website lists a bunch of retailers on me. www.chavisknives.com.
CHAVES, right?
CHAVES.
CHAVES knives.com. There you go. Do you have knife too, or just knives plural?
Knives. I have it, but it doesn't link to it.
Okay, so make it plural, knives.com.
Yep.
All right, sports fans, that's your show. Greg Medford, I'm out.
Thank you, guys.